They must be selling trick bags size 6'5" at Home Depot, but I don't know if it's time for me to go yet. I don't know if we want to, cause man, Mr. Fantastic, you did it to yourself this time, brother. I hope you had a good weekend, man. You did it to yourself. My concern has always been the lack of consistency in the way y'all have conversations, particularly about the black race. You said you consider yourself to be the greatest assessor of our people in the chat. My friend, I would have to disagree with you in so many different ways. I think your bias shows all the time. Even in your statement today, you basically said, I believe what I believe, and I don't believe black people and their experiences in regards to police officers. So you showed your bias there. You're not even willing to accept. You're not even willing to accept the information because you already have a bias about the people. And I'm gonna try, because I'm pretty sure this part gonna come up, so I'm not gonna talk too much. I want to get everybody's opinions. But what happens is when we get on the conversation about black women, your logic that you're using right now, you literally flip a coin and do exactly what you're criticizing right now. You do exactly that.
How so? I'm confused.
So you basically said in this situation, right, we shouldn't use the anecdotes of people, criminals. You kind of even said black people in general. We shouldn't use their. So then I'm saying, well, why would we use the anecdotes of men who we can consider things like, we can consider them undesirable, we can consider them to be unruly, we can consider them to be the men that women don't like. Why should we use their anecdotes to talk about experiences with black women? Why not use the anecdotes of black men who have good experiences with women overwhelmingly? Why not do that?
Yeah, I don't ever say not to do that. The problem is overwhelmingly.
I know. Wait, I'm cutting you off for a reason. I know you don't, but you did today. You said don't use the anecdote experience of criminals and black people because they're biased. It's trash information.
Okay, so you done this time? All right, cool. So the difference is this, right? They're actually, everything that we're talking about from the black men, black women thing is anecdotal and opinionated. There are no stats for relationships outside of marriage, right? And if you look at all of the other stats, they're going to be negative. Single mother rate, right? Children out of wedlock, all those different things are negative stats. When we're talking about police, it is based on the actual good or bad outcome that can be measured. Your opinion, Key, you got to mute up, bro. You got feedback. So your opinion of something that's based strictly off of more statistics and interactions versus a more sociable and literally a group of people that's an intra-racial thing and opinions of people within a race. That's not comparable, bro. That's apples to oranges. A cop only deals with you when he has to deal with you, okay? A black man and a black woman that's trying to create black families are doing that willingly on the daily. And you have community interactions within the people. So when black men complain about black women, it's about the treatment that they're getting with women. They don't, it's not a forced thing. This is a desire to be in a relationship. A cop has no desire to be in a relationship with you. A cop has no desire to even interact with you. A cop literally don't want to deal with as many people, white, black, Asian, or whatever, as he possibly can. Because every time a cop has an interaction with a person, it's a risk on his life and the other person's life, possibly. There's a possibility. I'm not saying it's high, okay? But I'm saying there's a 0.00001% chance that it could end up in a bad thing. Your comparison is why when you said that the last time, you put yourself in the trick bag, and I'd already prepared this answer because you thought you had me and you didn't. So hopefully, brother, the 6'5" bag you talking about, you about what, 6'2", 6'3". You know what I'm saying?
6 foot, bro. I'm just 6 foot. I wish I was 6'3".
6 foot, about 6 foot. You find the same one, brother, in good old Lowe's or Steve Harvey size too, brher. Steve Harvey.
Okay, cool. So you kind of showed your limitation and understanding of how data works, right? So statistics alone are just numbers, right? You can't make these conclusions that you love to make with statistics, but that's one of the limitations, right? So you also need the qualitative portion of it. So you made a statement that outside of the marriage point, the statistic says that bad. A number can't say good or bad. That good or bad is based off what we decide, right? So those numbers give us a way as laymen, people who aren't doing the more strenuous work, to get to a possible causation and conclusion. It gives us the ability to discuss what's happening, but it doesn't tell us good or bad, right? So the qualitative portion of data does allow us to have another piece of information that get us closer to the conclusions. But again, statistics aren't used to blame people. Statistics are used to ask more questions. I said that when I first came around. Y'all use statistics to say good or bad. People that actually do the work don't use statistics that way. We don't look at a hypothetical number. For instance, we don't look at black women, 35% of them having STDs, and say, oh, they're bad, they're whores. No one that does science seriously has conversations that way. We say, here's the number. Let's see what's under the number. What's causing this number? Is it lack of information? Is it also behavior? All these things are concluded, but what y'all go is, here's my idea what the number should be. And if it's not that, it's bad. Because when I ask people, well, what would be the numbers for you guys to say black people are actually passing in society? What's the metrics? What percentage of us should be married? How many STDs should be around? How many of us should have student loan debt? Like, we don't have the conversation this way. You guys have already decided, based on your biases, that they're already bad, and you cherry pick information to make your point.
Okay, so no, and again, we people that understand math very well understand you have an average or a mean.
I do. I understand it very well. All
right, cool. So you just either you said something disingenuous or you purposely skipped over that part.
Hold on. This is fantastic. This is the main point, though, right? That I'm interested to get your commentary on. You get an STD stat, right? So it doesn't implicate behavior, right? What it says is we found an issue that is duplicative here. What are the causations for said issue? So is it the lack of doctors, lack of access, right? Is it so that's what'll come out of that. It's not that these people are behaviorally unbecoming, but instead, what are the factors that go into the rate being as such? Right, Shad?
Yes, and behavior does go in there. I did say that. Okay. Behavior is a part of the assessment. But you make it the only assessment. You make it the only assessment.
Can I answer? No. Go ahead. I make it, like you said, the layman's. I speak to it from a layman's standpoint. So again, you go look at the average, and then you look at the percentage of black people that's there comparison to the whole. And if you're overrepresentation, it's clearly that there's horrible behavior there. You can't just say it's ignorance, because we know the majority of these people having sex are adults. Majority of people that are having sex are adults. And we know that adults understand that you can have sex protected or unprotected and the risk of unprotected sex. So unless you're going to say that black people don't have the capacity, the mental capacity to understand, like, hey, if I'm out here having casual unprotected sex with random strangers and none of us are trading or none of us are showing any type of STD results, what's going to happen? Thank you, Shad. Throwing me yet another alley oop.
Why do we?
Hold on, brother. I didn't say nothing while you talking.
So you self-padded to yourself.
I don't know why. I don't know why we always niggas don't know how to get a license. Niggas don't want to get a license so they can vote. Niggas don't understand, statistics. They understand that if you put your dick in a pussy or you put your pussy on a dick and you don't know if he got something or she got something, and then you end up with something. Oh, it's just the numbers. No, bro. It's clear common sense. People are being reckless sexually reckless, clearly. And then who's the most egregious offenders? The brotherfuckers.
So watch this. Watch
this. The brotherfuckers. Hold on. Due to numbers and due to the way that they have sex, due to the way they do it, they're highly more fucking the worst offenders. What are we talking about?
It's a fantastic.
So now I'm wrong?
No, you're
because
not.
I understand. No, go ahead.
Well, you're not. Shad, you got the floor. You're not wrong, but the reason why it can't be as when I'm hearing Shad edify, the conclusion can't be so conclusive and definitive, because then there's another stat that you edify me on, that black men buy the most condoms. So has to be dynamics that we need to assess, as opposed to just making a conclusion based on one statistic.
And then let me say this, right?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what I'm hearing. Go ahead, Shad.
No, I think you're in the right space. Let me try to bring it in a little bit more. How do you conclude from a number if a person got an STD from bad horse behavior, or were they a virgin? It was their first time having sex. Were they taken? Were they raped? Was it a boyfriend? Was it a girlfriend that they thought was doing the right thing? And they got it. How do you determine that from a number, Mr. Fantastic? How?
Let me answer. Okay. So for one, we know it can't be forceful because forceful is like less than 1% of sex. One, so let's throw that out of there, right? Two, again, it's up to the adults. We're talking about adults here. So if adults are having unprotected sex without seeing sexual results, STD results, they are responsible. Okay? No matter how you fold it. You can say that one person is more innocent than the other, but it's your responsibility. Okay, and we know the majority of these sex being had is not in relationships. It's casual. So it's casual. I can't believe we're having this argument right here.
No, we're having it because we're talking about science.
Casual, sexual, and again, and most scientists would agree with me that, like you said, hold on.
I've showed scientists your work. They look, they laugh.
Okay,
I show scientists your work.
Okay, it's cool. So and it's a safe hypothesis to come upon and say, hey, if this group of people have much higher motherfucking STD rates, even to the people that multiply them times 5, and then you have multiple articles about the sexual irresponsibility and the sexual recklessness of fucking not only the LGBT community and men, okay, and then black women's higher rates or whatever, what have you. It's a lot of politics in the bullshit, bro. They're sexually reckless. Point that you can't keep giving excuses to things that clearly there are fucking answers and antidotes to, but people refuse to fucking use it, and we only do it for us.
So that's not what's happening. Again, I've stated that behavior is a huge component of the numbers. But I'm asking you again, what statistical computation can you create to determine if a person got an STD from horse behavior or non-horse behavior? How do we do it?